Welcome to Kemi Talks Family Christmas Series. It's Christmas 2024 and Merry Christmas to everybody. Sit back and listen to the story of Jesus' birth. Get the kids together and let's go. Where was Jesus born? The New Testament section of the Bible tells us that a man called Joseph, who was a descendant of the great King David, lived in Nazareth, specifically in Galilee. Joseph was a carpenter and worked hard for his living. He was happy because he was going to marry a woman called Mary. Now, Mary and the angel. We've heard that story. One day when Mary was alone, a bright light filled the room, and a voice spoke to her. It was an angel who told her that she was going to have a special baby who would be God's own son. Mary didn't understand, but she promised to do what God wanted. The angel said, "Don't be afraid, Mary. God is pleased with you. You're going to have a son who will be very special. You must call him Jesus. He will be God's promised king, the king who will reign forever." So, Mary and Joseph traveled to Bethlehem. Mary and Joseph were married. Some months later, Joseph had to travel to the town of Bethlehem, which was far away in Judea. Mary made the long journey with Joseph, even though it was almost time for her baby to be born. Now, the shepherds in that area were looking for baby Jesus. And here's what happened. There were so many visitors to Bethlehem that Mary and Joseph couldn't find anywhere to spend the night. At last, they found shelter in a stable that night among the animals. Mary's baby was born. As there was no cradle, she laid him in the manger to sleep. Now on the hillside outside Bethlehem, there were shepherds watching over their flocks of sheep. Suddenly, a bright light lit up the sky, and an angel spoke to them, telling them about the birth of Jesus, God's promised king. The shepherds searched until they found the baby in the stable. Then they knelt down and worshipped him. The wise men from faraway lands in the east saw a bright new star shining in the sky, and that was God's sign that a new king had been born. They told this to King Herod in Jerusalem, who decided to kill Jesus because he was frightened that Jesus would take over his throne. At last, the wise men found the house and gave Jesus expensive presents. However, they didn't tell King Herod where the baby was. So King Herod's plot started because he was so scared about the birth of Jesus that he ordered all the boys under 2 years old in Bethlehem to be killed. Mary and Joseph were warned about this in a dream, and so they escaped to Egypt, where Jesus was safe. And at the end of the story, what do we learn? The King of Kings, Emmanuel. Christmas Day is more than gifts, parties, name it. It is a way of celebrating, but we must still remember it was the day Jesus was born. I know some of you are going to say, oh, there are other days in the Bible, or there are other days we've heard about. Jesus was born December 25th. This is not our call. We celebrate him December 25th every year. And once again, it's December 25th, 2024. For the kids listening, remember, Mary and Joseph traveled to Bethlehem. The shepherds searched for the baby Jesus. The wise men traveled to Herod's palace to find this new king. The wise men returned home from Bethlehem by a different route. And then Mary and Joseph took Jesus to Egypt. Jesus did a lot of phenomenal things in his life. He was baptized, he performed miracles, he healed the sick, and he prayed for all of us until he was crucified. And he rose on the seventh day. The story of Jesus is one that we celebrate this time of the year. Remember, Christmas is spelled Christ, Christ, Jesus Christ, Mass, MES. Please don't spell it XMAS. Kids, it's not XMAS, it's Christ, MES. Merry Christmas to everybody and thanks for listening. Follow me on Facebook.com/Dr. Kemi Lawrence. Dr. Kemi Lawrence. LAWRENCE. Or just search Kemi Talks on Facebook. Merry Christmas to everybody. Stay safe.